Hello, future humans. Naiji Coach here, your eccentric truth fire dragon, bringing you tales of the human condition. All right, so we got here UFC. What is this going to be? It's going to be on. Oh, cool. We don't have to pay for this one. Nice. All right. So who we have up? The main fights are Lyoto Machida. Okay, so he is a Z-Vi. You heard me correctly, Z-Vi. He's one that had given me trouble over the years. I let the whole I'm a samurai thing really heavy on the philosophy, like the Bushido warrior code and all that kind of stuff. And that's something I had a very romantic view of throughout my life. And so I projected pretty hard on that. So this is part of the ongoing MMA bubble purification. And so Lyoto Machida was one of the tougher ones for me to note this on. But now that I'm able to do so, I'm feeling a lot more confident. So anyway, he is coming back from a layoff because he had doping thing. But most people consider his handling the situation. I'm talking to Jilene here. I've given her the lowdown on the UFC. I'm prepping. We like to, we do movies, all kinds of stuff like that. We like to prep before we go so we have a better idea. Like opera. If you're going to go to opera, it's nice to actually know a little bit about the story, the motifs, the symbolism, so you can drink it in, particularly if it's in a foreign language or something. You want to kind of know a bit what's going on. Okay, so Lyoto Machida is coming back after a bit of a layoff because of the doping thing, but people like the way he handled himself. He was very upfront about it, and that most people believe that he actually got in trouble incorrectly or was overly punished because he took a substance that was banned, but it was I think a bit more obscure, and so he didn't know he was taking it, but he actually voluntarily gave that evidence when he was asked for it and made no attempt to hide it. And his story's always been, I didn't know it was a problem. And people are thinking like, yeah, because if he actually knew he was cheating, he wouldn't have been so forward giving over all the evidence. He was like, oh, here's all my stuff and blah, blah, blah. So that seems pretty sloppy if you're going to cheat to actually just keep the evidence around and hand it over to people freely. He's fighting against Eric Anders. Now, Eric Anders is a new person on the scene, but apparently he's really bad. He has never lost 10-0. He came on some fight. I was watching some videos trying to read him. He's also a Z-Vi. Eric Anders, that's Eric with a Y. And he is apparently, doing really well, but he's kind of like he hasn't had a big name yet. So this is his first big name fight. But a little media thing here, a little pop culture, Inquirer-esque stuff for you, is he's also, his towel drop, when he was doing his weigh-in, he had to take the shorts off because he was really close to, not making weight. So they put a towel up there, it fell down, and then, that kind of like was a thing. But then in the interview about it, they're like, is that embarrassing when that kind of thing's happen? He goes, no, I think people are impressed. So now that became like a
it's a salacious.
It's a meme now, and he's kind of considered cool because the interviewers asked him like, was that really embarrassing? And he was like, no, I think people are impressed. And that was considered a pretty boss answer. So anyway, so we'll see what happens. So long story short, Machida's been out for a while, but he's one of the best. But ring rust is a thing. And Eric Anders, no one really has heard of him, but he's a bad hombre, and he's actually won all 10 of his fights, 7 by knockout early. So we'll see what happens. All right, next up we have, where is it? Oh, Shevchenko. Oh, did it change? I hope he didn't lose that fight. See, we had some fall throughs. I think Eric Anders may have always been planned, but maybe not because I hadn't heard about him till today. But in the Shevchenko fight versus Cachoeira, first of all, Valentina Shevchenko, she is a Z-Vi, not a Z-Ni. So that is an update there. Just kind of prepping and some of the Olympic stuff we've been looking at has given us more nuance on the Z-Vi, males and females. But she's fighting Priscilla Cachoeira. Am I saying it right, Charlene?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, yay. Yeah. Also known as Zombie Girl. But anyway, she is a late replacement for Amanda Nunes. Because Amanda Nunes, this is going to be for the 125-pound belt. Mm-hmm. And apparently Amanda Nunes, I think, was trying to make that weight. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what's happening anyway. But she actually had to go to the hospital.
Oh.
Yep, so this is a last-minute replacement, so we'll see what happens. But, a lot of people don't think that this person, Priscilla, will be able to give much
She's okay.
I hope she's okay. Now, there was another fight here that I had researched. Where'd it go? Let's go back. Okay, I'm almost positive that there was another fight here. So, oh, well, I wrote this here. So, I mean, it's Pedro Munez. He's a Zvi, that's new, and he's fighting John Dodson. John Dodson is a VZI, so you don't have a lot of those in there. The VZI do show up in the combat sports. So those are the top 3 matchups. But that one's not here anymore, so I wonder if they lost another fight.
It may have changed.
Yeah, okay, so that was the planned lineup. We'll see what happens, and yeah, take care until next week when we will start getting, well, next week is going to be Black Panther. Next week's Black Panther, and then begins the Olympics. Actually, Olympics blends right there, but I'll wait for a week of the Olympics before I film on the Olympics. So, Avengers, Prep, and then Olympics for several weeks. Looking forward to it. Pumped. All right, bye-bye.